Following is going to start. Your character seems to be at a bit of a crossroads, sort of emotionally, from where we left him at the end of last season. Can you sort of tell us what's going to be happening to him, sort of emotionally, intellectually, now that he's sort of at a loose end without this nemesis that he's been chasing for 2 seasons?
Yeah, so you're right. I mean, the question is, of course it's a good thing that Joe is in jail, and of course it's a good thing if I'm really able to push him out of my mind and out of my heart, I think it's hard. But does it leave a hole, Does it leave a void? And I think that for people who are in this line of work, there is an element of it that I'm drawn to, the danger. I'm kind of a junkie for the adrenaline, And if I don't have the alcohol, I put the alcohol in because when Joe went out of my life, I put the alcohol in so I have something to take care of that. Joe came back in my life, and eventually I stopped drinking. So there's like that weird kind of thing. I think we're gonna. What I love, one of the big differences between this season and the beginning of last season was the beginning of last season. I was pretending to have Joe gone, because I had this secret room and I was really wearing a mask of peace and comfort and all that kind of stuff. This season, I truly am happy. You'll see a lot of, in the first episode, I will smile a lot. Like, you'll see teeth. You didn't even know Ryan already had teeth. And there's a beautiful woman who's, come into my life, and the exploration of how that character, how I'm able or not able to open myself up to that character is going to be a big part of where things go character-wise.
It seems like he took a major step, and at the end of last season, for a second I thought he might have killed Joe, and then the fact that he didn't, I thought that was a huge growth from just that beginning of the season to now.
Yeah, because it's kind of a great, it was kind of a great thing, I thought, from a writing standpoint, where you have a guy that you've been hunting and I say all year, let's face it, I got to kill this guy. That's what has to happen. To come up to that moment where a man's, life is in my hands, and to make that choice, I think it's cathartic, and that was the way we looked at it, and that's the way we played it. So, jumping forward from that, that's where this catharsis has led me a year later to where I'm at.
Cool. When we see that addictive personality you hinted at, will that manifest again?
I think that we have to always, with any of these characters, and certainly with my character, see struggles. Am I going to do the right thing or the wrong thing? Am I going to put myself first or the people that I love first? Am I going to continue to? I've certainly known quite a few addicts in my life, and I know that it's not something that is like just over. There is a struggle. So I think he's struggling with it all the time.
New York is much more of a character this season, right? And it's Ryan's hometown. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I really lobbied for that because I sort of felt like we're here, and we're here because of me, personally, and I love it, and I feel like it's nice to use the city. We haven't, we've been, sometimes we go out to the suburbs, but we've been in Queens, we've been a lot in Brooklyn, we've shot stuff already in Manhattan. Sometimes they go out of town, but I think that story-wise, last year we had a religious compound that was kind of up at the sticks. That was almost like a forest, and we had a lot of mansions. So those were the things that kind of took it out of an urban sort of setting. But this year I think we're, at least so far, a lot more kind of New York centric. Our producing director, Marcos Siega, the guy with the camera around his neck, I don't have to spin here yet, but Post takes a lot of beautiful pictures. He's a very, very good photographer. And put a book together that we gave to the crew last year that was shots of the crew, basically. And a couple of shots of actors, but mostly of the crew. And I was struck with the fact that visually, the scenes that we did in New York were just, to me, visually more interesting than landscapes and bushes. So.
It also seemed like last year the show really kind of found its groove a little bit. It was like right off the bat I go, yeah, I'm starting to really, I mean, I liked it the first season, but I really got into it more the second season. Joe, his apartment, Ryan's apartment and the whole Joe thing, and then, his niece. I mean, it was just, a lot of things just fell into place for me. Did you guys feel that too from the production side?
Yeah, I mean, I had some moments that I felt like there were times when I felt like I wasn't 100% happy with where things were going, but for the most part, I think that, we're all proud of the show. We are all thrilled to get back to work. I'm very excited about the two guys that are show running this year, because Kevin Williamson is off doing Stalker, so he's not the head writer at this point. I think they've got great ideas, and I think it really does feel fresh. It feels new, and yet it still feels like our show. It's still scary. It still pushes the envelope, and we were happy to get back to work.